Today, so we're going to learn how to solve a system of equations by graphing using technology. And specifically, I'm going to show you how to use Desmos graphing calculator because that is what you're going to be using when you take your final exam in a few months. So let's look at an example of solving a system by graphing. I have an image here about what that means to graph. So we have two different equations, y equals 3x, that's this red line right here, and then we have y equals x minus 2, which is this blue line right here. So when I mean to say solve by graphing, that means we're going to graph both equations and we're going to find their point of intersection. So intersect means a fancy word for cross. So I literally want to know, where do these two lines cross on a graph? So I'm looking for a coordinate point specifically. So you want an x value and a y value. Our coordinate points are both x and y because our equations have x and y as well. So if I look at this image, I can see here that they cross right here at this coordinate point. So if I was doing this by hand, I would have to count and figure out what coordinate point that is. So I always start at the origin. I'm going to count over -1. I'm above it. And now I'm going to count down to 1, 2, 3. -3. So my coordinate point or my solution for this system is -1, -3. And always make sure your coordinate point does match your system. That means, did you graph it correctly and does it make the system true? And I'm going to show you how to do that in the calculator as well. So we have this word problem, and it says Lucy and Barbara began saving money the same week. The table below shows the models for the amount of money Lucy and Barbara has saved after X week. After how many weeks will they have saved the same amount? So they gave us two separate equations, and they're not a system yet because we haven't graphed them and found where they cross yet. We just have two separate ones. So I'm going to show you how to use Desmos to graph and then to solve. So I have Desmos graphing calculator. So if you want to do this at home, you just Google desmos.com/calculator. There is an app that you can download on your phone. I know it has it for Apple. I'm assuming Android has it. I don't have an Android, but Apple has one. So you can download this graphing calculator as well on a phone. And this is the same calculator you will have on your exam. So you're going to click on this little tab button right here, and you're going to graph equations one at a time. So my first equation was f of x equals 10x plus 5. Now you can use f of x. You can also just use y if you prefer as well. It doesn't matter. So I'm going to do f of x equals and 10x plus 5. You can see here it's already making a graph, and it's going to shift as I add more to my equation. All right, so here's my equation. Let's say, by the way, fancy thing, if you want to know, you can change the color of this. You can click here and hold, and I can change. Let's say I'm in a purple mood, and I want to change it to a dotted line, just so. So I have my first graph. Was it Lucy's? Yes. So now let's do Barbara's. Barbara's was f of x equals 7.5x plus 25. 7.5x, now I have something up there, plus 25. Make sure I did that right. Yes, 7.5x plus 25. And I want to change that to, let's say I want orange, and I want a dotted instead of a dashed. All right, so let's look at it. So can I see anything yet? No. When I graph, I want to make sure that I can find their intersection points. I want to know, where do these two equations match up at an intersection point? Where do they cross? Where are they equal? So you see this little buttons right here. We have a zoom in and a zoom out. So I can't see anything yet. So zooming in would not help me. So I need to zoom out to see where they cross later on the graphs. So I'm going to hit the little negative button. Still can't see it. Still can't see it. Still can't see it. Still, they're kind of overlapping, but I'm not really sure where they're overlapping, so I'm going to do it again. Okay. So now I can see here that they have overlapped. So I'm going to zoom in. So sometimes you need to play around with your zoom in and zoom out settings. So I'm going to play around with it. I'm going to shift it around so I can see here they're starting to go back over each other again. See here. Okay, so I can think it's about right in here is where they're going to be crossing at. Okay, so I can see here they're kind of like, I can barely see the purple underneath the orange right here. So I'm going to assume right now that that's probably where they're going to cross at. So I can actually find where they're intersecting.
I couldn't hear what you said.
Sorry, that was my Apple Watch kicked on for some reason. So I'm going to click. You see here where I clicked, it automatically found where they crossed. So again, I just click, boom, there's a point. So now I need to know what is that coordinate point. So I'm going to click on it. Now I actually know what numbers those are. X is 5 and the Y is 85. So that tells me that if I were to answer this problem, that X is 5 and it says X is weeks, not X is 5, X is 8. I'm sorry. X is 8. So after X weeks, so what does X represent? Weeks. So how many weeks is it? 8. So my answer would be C. Now, let's always double check. Always check your answers. So if I want to check, I can plug 8 into the equation and see if I get the same answer. So Desmos is also a regular calculator. So I'm going to type in 10 parentheses. Remember, when you plug a number in, you put parentheses around it. 8 plus 5, 85, which is what it told me. Now I want to make sure it does the same thing on the other one. So 7.5 times 8, again, use parentheses, plus 25. 85. Did I get the same answer? Yes. So is my answer 8 for the x value and y is 85? Yes. Did I solve this system by this graphing? Yes. We have now shown how to solve a system by graphing use the Desmos calculator. I hope you guys find this video helpful, and I will see you guys later. Bye. Did it not do it? Where's my thing?